ladies and gentlemen. So, we got an update on Red Sonja. The screenwriter Tasha Huowo, I don't care to try to pronounce that, quite frankly, has come out and revealed some bits and pieces about the film, and says it will feature stories of great female friendship, and it will explore how women uniquely survive out in the world. Now, there's actually a lot of pros about this movie. The director has come out and expressly said, no, we are keeping the chainmail bikini, absolutely. Also, no, I've got no interest in telling some sort of gender narrative. You know, some sort of story about gender roles and things like this. In fact, the previous reports we'd heard about this movie were very positive. It was as if they got it, quite frankly. This, not so good though, but I don't know quite what to think, because a lot of this could just be virtue signalling, and quite frankly, just doing it to rage bait, but we don't know. We don't know. In fact, it did seem an awful lot like the story would just, well, I guess kind of be telling a climate change story more than anything. It didn't, from what we'd heard before, from all interviews, it didn't seem like there was going to be anything to do with, you know, what you've got flapping between your legs or otherwise. It didn't seem like that was the focus. But hey, look, we could be wrong, because this doesn't sound great. But let's take a look. Oh dear. Now, again, even as this article notes, you know, another day, another classic IP seemingly set to have its identity ruined by the typical pitfalls of modern storytelling. Again, the thing is, this might just be rage bait, because the screenwriter Tasha Huowo has revealed that female experience will be a central focus of the Redhead Warrior's upcoming live-action return to the silver screen. You know, that, without the modern-day negative connotations, actually isn't that negative. You know, and I get it, because it's kind of like a buzzword, but we don't know how it's going to be presented. You know, it's. I had like a .exe moment there. It genuinely is how it's presented. That in isolation isn't actually that terrible, but it's the execution that matters and its connotations to modern day. This Tasha Huowo is a renowned douche anyway, so I don't know what to think. I'm trying to stay hopeful about this. So, Huowo, who's only completed Hollywood script writing credits to date, of 4 episodes of The Witcher Blood Origin, so that's the other reason why she's not good either, offered this insight into the iconic fantasy heroine's next adventure while speaking to Variety in honour of her being ranked 5th on the 2015 entry of their annual 10 screenwriters to watch list. So let's have a look at this. This is who she is. Remember her? You remember this one? Not good. And this is, so, you know, so she developed the script for Red Sonja, apparently Naruto as well. Alright. Animated version of Tomb Raider. Huowo says she considers it a fan's dream come true to adapt beloved properties. And she says, and I quote, adapting iconic characters or IP makes the writing of it easier because the passion for writing it is already there. I'm so inspired by these characters already that it's exciting to just take a part of their journey and try to tell that fun story in a way that would appeal to me as a fan. It should still be telling it from a wider narrative, but fine. So this is the quote that everyone's, you know, going off on one about. For Red Sonja, based on the popular sword and sorcery comic book character of the same name, Huowo says that the character offers a unique opportunity to use the fantasy genre to explore human stories. It gives you this great vehicle for telling big themes about human nature within the spectacle, she says, promising stories of great female friendship and a portrait of, and I quote, how women uniquely survive out in the world. That's a bit of a weird thing to say if it's not with the negative connotations. I mean, look, again, you know, physiognomy checks out, probably a feminist. It's a bit of a weird thing to say if that's not going to be your narrative. But the thing about this is, when you talk about, you know, telling big themes about human nature within the spectacle, I mean, that Red Sonja is the female counterpart to Conan, right? So if you look at Conan, if you look at Conan, a lot of that is actually human nature. Obviously, it is still, evil, good versus evil, things like this. But there are still themes of human nature running through it. Now, I still don't trust modern Hollywood to be able to execute these kind of things. But it's why it's not, again, in isolation, not a terrible thing to say. But like I said, physiognomy, probably a raging feminist. And great female friendship, who cares about that? That's fine. But how women uniquely survive out in the world. Again, these phrases, these quotes are actually pretty innocuous. But it's when you dial it up to modern day that you're like, ooh, don't know about that. Don't know about that. Because in modern day, those things are not good. Those are not good. Female friendship would just be them clam lapping, sesame timbers going off. That's that kind of female friendship that, generally speaking, they have. But there's been a lot of positive stuff about this. So it is directed by Solomon Kane, Silent Hill Revelation director MJ Bassett, who replaced previously attached Joey Soloway and Bryan Singer. And they've been pretty good on it. We're just about finished with editing. That was in an October interview, and the stuff does sound pretty good. So they say this: that film was very rooted and very real, if you will. But there are a couple of sequences that we have to get the CGI right, so that you don't look at it and go, "Oh, that creature wasn't quite there." So we finished the film and we're ready to get into the next part of post on it. Well, Red Sonja is also a little bit of a, I don't want to say a darker take, but a little bit darker take than you would expect. Certainly compared to the original Red Sonja, we want to be very careful with the CG to make sure it's done properly and does the film a service rather than a disservice. So and again, when she's come out and spoken about what it was all, what the basis of the story was, it was none of this female friendship nonsense. The reason why I say proceed with caution when it comes to this variety thing is this is a variety thing. This could just be virtue signaling wank. We hear it all the time when it comes to Disney. They virtue signal all the bloody time. If this was going to be a round, harshly feminist story, they wouldn't have had with a tits hanging out in the chainmail bikini, would they? Which they expressly do have in this film, supposedly. So I don't know what to think, but I hand it on over to you. You tell me what you think. Drop it down below. Is this a disaster waiting? Is this cause for concern? I'd love to hear it. So, please do let me know what you think down below. Give the video a like and a share. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.